Bookaroo was started in 2008 because we wanted to help children celebrate the joy of reading, not inculcate the reading habit, because we all do things much better if we enjoy them. And reading is for enjoyment. It is for pleasure. As a side issue, it opens our minds to different worlds. It makes us curious. It also makes us more empathize with other people. So reading is really important, but therefore we have to enjoy it. We haven't got to be forced to do it. So the idea behind Bookaroo as a children's literature festival was that we actually had events which made reading fun, because reading is fun.
Animals were happy because they could eat now.
If you look at schools, if you look at a lot of these hierarchical relationships that children are in, the parent-child relationship, the teacher-student relationship, they are based out of this notion of fear and this notion of I am elder and you are younger, so you need to listen to me. But that's what we deconstruct, that's what we break down in the world of storytelling. We are equals.
So they said, aha, maybe she will like strawberry milk. So they got strawberry milk and the princess went, smell. 1 minute. Yuck!
Stories are form of a capsule where we can teach kids some great lessons, by twisting turns in the stories. It becomes easy for them to gulp that capsule, and then that lesson is remembered forever. So that's how I feel the stories telling is all about.
Happened in my house when my son Jacob, who was 6 years old at the time, he found a feather.
It's the best way to learn telling through stories. Any kind of information is just absorbed if you tell it in a story form. And to add to it, you can have a little bit of song, make them sing and dance, and make them heart and soul of the whole affair. So it makes books so important to children this way. And I hope this movement continues, and children of today future readers of tomorrow too.
When one takes a book in one's hand, it's not just text, it is not about illustration, it's also about an idea of looking at the world.
Sessions which I've talked about how to look at the world in a different way. And this comes really from the way I work. I work with everyday objects. I create pictures. Instead of drawing, I find shapes and I find objects and I put them together to create illustrations. So I try to explain that to kids.
I like to, get in the middle, look into their eyes. It's very important for me that they smile back and I smile back at them, and they are on my shoulder, or we touch, we are doing actions together. It's this beautiful space where there is absolute trust and there is no fear. And I think that's a very, very important part which storytelling fills in.
So whether you hear the book being sung, whether you see it being performed in theatre, whether you just soak in a building where you've come to watch the performance, where you just watch the face of the audience and just look at the face of the audience and not just the performance, how to look at the reaction. I think this curiosity in children, this wide-eyedness in children, which sometimes gets threatened, and at times the eyes look very tired because they've seen it all, they've done it all, everything can be done in YouTube. That challenge to the so-called YouTube generation to the so-called digital generation, to the so-called youngest of young kids who are damn good with technology. I think that challenge comes only when we make book an experience.
Bookaroo was started simple enjoyment in reading, to make reading fun, to take reading away from the classroom, and to that extent we have been supported by publishers, authors, illustrators in making this a success.
Spent 2 full days here, right from 10:30 to 5:30 or 5, and they don't know what to choose from, so they've been running around. They love it. They love every aspect of it. It's been a big eye-opener and a lot of knowledge lived in, very artistically done, so we're very happy.
And the place is fantastic. It's just
Mill Owners
the
is
just
the
apt
building.
place.
It's
Really,
the
it's so
place to be.
playful that this building is so playful.
The epitome of
Yeah.
Le Corbusier's architecture.
Perfectly chosen venue. And I think best part about this storytelling session was my child didn't have to look around for me. He was totally engrossed into the storytelling session. And the best part I think was it was beautifully told with the way it should, and with all the expressions, that proper perfect narration.
I had a great time. The crowd in the 2 sessions, the people were wonderful and warm, and I can't wait to come back to India. It's the first time I come to India, it's the first time I come to Bookaroo, and it was a great experience so far. So thank you for having me here.
I enjoyed in building that bridge. For me, it's about making a child experiencing a book and not simply telling a story. To me, storytelling, illustrations, has its limitations. What doesn't have a limitation is to put an idea across. And I think Bookaroo is a great platform to help to put that idea across all the time.
I think this kind of opportunity permits this wonderful blend of having an excited audience, a curious audience, having a wonderful ambience in which the whole proceedings are happening, and at the same time allowing every author to share their passions and things which are close to their heart.
It was very rewarding, the experience. I went to 3 schools and the 3 were very different, but the kids were very talkative and creative, and it was a good experience. Here it was a little more messy, but I think the kids will want to have this again in Ahmedabad, I'm sure about it.
Place which we need more and more, where children can come in and forget the fears of life, forget the worries about homework, about getting scolded.
What I'm doing is I'm going to hide 4 riddles, 4 puzzles in each of the 8 words of Mithya. Some champion has to be chosen from among the Mythicals.
Really very good platform for all the age groups. Kind of activity in this environment, it is really very nice.
That space, that bonding between the storyteller, which I think a book cannot provide. I think the iPad can definitely not provide. It's a very, very intimate and personal space.
And it's a progress towards books, towards creativity, towards art, everything crafty and all. The corners were beautifully made and we really liked it. It's encouraging kids of all the ages.
Support the Bookaroo, and I feel that they're doing a great job, and wish them all the success in future. And I hope this love of listening and telling just spreads across the world.